Hello everyone, welcome to another maths challenge question. Let's have a read of it together. So we have a bumblebee wants to visit all the hexagons in the diagram shown. Okay, he starts at X, so he starts at the top, only moves between hexagons that share a border, and never visits the same hexagon twice. How many possible routes could the bumblebee take? Very interesting question here. Have a go at it yourself, pause the video, and when you're ready, unpause and we'll work it out together. Cool, so I think first of all, I want to draw this shape out for myself. It doesn't have to be hexagons, I can just do circles for myself, which are a bit easier to draw. So we've got these circles here. Cool, and the bumblebee always starts at the top. So we need to think very systematically about how many routes the bumblebee can take. What I'm thinking is the bumblebee could first move into this circle here. Into this circle here. So let's just call this A. Okay, let's think about how many routes there are if the bumblebee first goes to A. Actually, I think I'm going to label all of my circles. So this one I'm going to label A, this one B, this one C, this one D, this one E, and this one F. Cool. So if the bumblebee first moves to A, where else could it move to? Well, it could move either to D or to B. Okay, let's say it first goes to B. Then where else could it go? Now, it can actually only go either to D or to C. Because if it went to E, then it would go along a route and not be able to get the missing hexagon. So if we go from X to A to B, it can either go to D or to C. So it's only going to have two possible routes if it goes to A then to B. What happens when it goes from X to A to D? Well, it could either go to B or it could go to E. Okay, let's consider it going from D to B. So it's going X, A, D, B. Then how many routes are there? Well, then it can either go EFC or CFE. It can't go F because then it would be missing out one of the hexagons. So if it goes to A, to D, to B, there will only be two routes for that. Okay, but the bumblebee could have gone X, A, D, and then E. Let's consider that case. Well, if it goes X, A, D, E, it can either go B, C, F, B, F, C, F, B, C, or F, C, B. So that's four different routes. Okay, cool. Nice, that is all the possible routes it could go if it goes to A first. So let's add these numbers up. 2 plus 2 plus 4, that gives me 8. Cool. Now, note the symmetry of this question. The number of different ways it can go if it goes to A first will be equivalent to the number of different ways it can go if it goes to C first, since this problem is symmetrical in this vertical line. Cool, so therefore, if it goes to C first, we're also going to get 8 different routes. Now all we have to think about is if it goes from X to B first. So let's consider those cases. If it goes X to B, then it can actually only go to A or to C. Because if it goes to, let's say, E, then it can move up this way, but then it's missing out the A and the D. So if it goes from X to B, then it must go to A and go this route, or to C and go this route. Therefore, there's only two possible routes it can go if it goes to B first. Therefore, we've got all our possible routes. So now let's add 8 plus 8 plus 2. That gets me 18. And that is the total number of possible routes the bumblebee can take. So our answer is C, and we're done with the question. If you enjoyed this question, have a look at some of my other videos. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.